What I'm doing right now is because we're going to build the whole house on this guitar track, I'm going to be really sort of anal and kind of mutt-lang a little bit with the accuracy of the rhythm because it's going to affect the drums, it's going to affect everything. And Bryce has fantastic natural feel, which is great. I'm probably not going to have to do very much, but I want to just look at everything. Because when something like a guitar is so percussive, when it's just a little out of rhythm and you start adding a bunch of stuff, you know, at some point, like 5 hours from now, we might be like, why does that one backbeat not sound right? And it could just be because a guitar is like way ahead of the beat, you know, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a way that's like, doesn't feel right.
House number, zip codes, bird. House number. House number, zip code.
I have this in a place now where it feels really good to me. I didn't go super quantizey. I left the guitar. There's lots of places. If you're looking at the grid, it's behind, it's ahead, but it feels good to me. I want there to still be lots of humanity and life in it. But it's tighter. Some sections you can see I didn't touch, or I would just do a macro nudge. I like nudging things by 5 ticks, which most people don't do that. They use samples or milliseconds. But years and years and years and years and years ago, when I was 18, I got my first used Mac Plus in Toronto. It was used. It cost $2,400. It had no internal hard drive. It had 2 megs of RAM. And I was using a cracked version of Mark of the Unicorn's Performer, just MIDI. And I used that for years until I could afford to buy it. And then I was buying digital Performer, and Performer at the time was all ticks. So I just got used to that. It's a division of the quarter note. I think there's something like, am I right, about almost 900 ticks per quarter note, something like that. 480 is halfway. I can't do math, so please, everyone fill in the blanks with the correct answer. But I'm just sort of used to that. And of course, the tempo you're at affects how big the nudge is. If you're at 140 BPM, 5 ticks does very little. If you're at 60 BPM, 5 ticks does a lot. I know it's weird, but I'm just sort of used to it. So what I will do to correct timing more often than not is just do a kind of a nudge. You know, sometimes there's a section that feels really good, but it just kind of picked up off the click. It sped up a little bit. Clicks are very unnatural. It's possibly the most unnatural thing about recording if you decide to record to a click. It's just, you know, the beauty of a symphony orchestra is that everybody is a little bit out of time and a little bit out of tune with each other. And music is supposed to breathe and ebb and flow. Of course, you can have too much of a good thing, our ears are just so accustomed to hearing really great feel. I know this is probably going to wind up being a very organic kind of track, and I still want it to have that sort of tightness, but I also don't want it to sound quantized. So I just did lots of chopping and editing to the guitar track, and then there were a couple of vocal things that I felt needed to be shifted a bit just to match the tightness of the guitar. Again, you know, Bryce played this guitar after she sang, the next day after she sang the scratch vocal last night. It's all very movie, right? We're editing together a thing to make it feel like a live performance, but it's very, time is not linear when you're making a record or a movie. And I'm okay with that. You know, I think there's a huge discrepancy between live theater and making a movie. They're not the same thing. And I'm okay with taking that approach with making a record. And there's a school of thought where people feel like everything should be live off the floor. And that can be really fun. I've made a lot of records that are live off the floor. And you know what? Invariably, inevitably, all the in multiple syllable words, people want to go back in and punch in on their parts. And then when someone starts doing it, then the next person wants to do it. And then by the time we're done, there's very little that's actually still kept from being live off the floor. So I would rather make a movie and pastiche and edit the best moments together to build a statue that looks the way that I want, that I kind of saw in my head before we even started. I have no shame about that at all. I think it makes for a better record. And little nudges of timing make just gargantuan differences, especially on the lead vocal. Because, like I keep saying, it's the most important instrument in the entire record. I often find myself relaxing the timing of singers, so moving them a little later than the beat. You know, my favorite jazz singers, it's called back phrasing. They naturally sing a little later than where the rest of the band is playing. You know, someone like D'Angelo has a really deep comprehension of this. And Jay Dilla, like, there's just a world of people making modern music that really get how timing, stretching timing, playing with who played what when, putting the drums actually really quite early and putting the bass way behind the drums is a huge part of the D'Angelo groove on records. So anyway, it's all tension and release. It's all things to kind of like keep the listener interested and motivated. And sometimes the band can be completely locked in and tight, but if the vocal lands early or late, it sounds like everyone made a mistake. And if you just move the vocal a bit more on the beat, or sometimes actually just dead on the grid, solves everything. I've done this so many times, I just sort of know that I need to kind of tighten the screws a little bit before we start putting a bunch of weight on the foundation. And that's what I'm doing here.
House numbers, zip codes, birthdays, and airplane roads. I could never pass them by. I rearrange them, add them up, multiply till I find luck. Anything to call it a sign. Or maybe I'm out of my mind. I see my lucky number everywhere I go, and I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. New city, no car, don't mind the walk, but not me. New city, new city, new city, new city, new city, new city, no car, don't mind the walk, but not this far. I'm supposed to be. car, don't mind a walk, but not this far. Thought I found my dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Nothing's going right, but the second I look at the time, I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. 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 Thought I found my dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Nothing's going right off my mind. I see my lucky number everywhere I go, and I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. New city, no car, don't mind a walk, but not this far. Thought I found my dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Nothing's going right, but the second I look at the time, I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Or maybe I'm out of my mind. I see my lucky number everywhere I go, and I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to decide. Thought I found my dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Nothing's going right, but the second I look at the time, I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. 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 I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. 19. I see my lucky number.
One of the great plugins of all time. Mouth D-Click.
I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. 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 I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. 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 House numbers, zip codes, birthdays, and airplane roads. I could never pass them by. I rearrange them, add them up, multiply till I find luck. Anything to call it a sign. Or maybe I'm out of my mind. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. New city, no car, don't mind the walk, but not this far. Da-da-da-da. The second I look at the time, I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down time. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. 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 I'm supposed to be. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see 19.
I decided to actually, for now, use much of the scratch piano track, although I muted it up until the first chorus. So there's nothing. It's just guitar, Bryce's guitar. Then the piano comes in on chorus one and sort of fills it out. It's been turned down 10.6 dB, so it's a lot more secondary, which I'm all good with. You know, this is a scratch vocal. We weren't chasing takes forever, and I just gave it the most subtle tuning. Almost doing nothing, where I turn the speed almost all the way down, super slow. I tell it to be very choosy with what it picks to tune. There's all these settings. I turn up the humanize. I do all these things to sort of turn auto-tune off or like really chill it out. I picked the key. It was in F until we got to the key change. Then it goes to G. That's important. The range of the vocal is important with auto-tune. You got to know whether you're in soprano, alto. Every tuning plugin has its own different names for. Waves Tune has more options. They have baritone and mezzo soprano, which is between alto and soprano. But that really changes the sound of the plugin. Auto-tune sounds really different to me in alto mode compared to soprano. Auto-tune is also amazing for tuning a bass. No one seems to know that, but there's a bass instrument mode. It's fantastic. It's really good. And on a lower male vocal, there's a setting called low male, I think. And that also just keeps all the tone. If you tune that stuff in soprano, you're sort of destroying the sound of the richness of the low male register. Most people leave it in soprano. It's not a good idea. You got to really kind of know what key you're in and what range of the vocal.
I am ready when you are.
Okay. Let's just go ahead and hit record.
House numbers, zip codes, birthdays, and airplanes. Could never pass by. I rearrange. supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. Let me come listen to that.
House numbers, zip codes, birthdays, and airplane rows. I could never pass them by. I rearrange them, add them up, multiply till I find luck. Anything to call it a sign. Or maybe I'm out of my mind. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm swear it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Me down every road. Always shows where it follows me down every road. Always shows up just when me down just me down every road. Always shows up every road. Always shows up just when I need to. Shows me down every road. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm aware. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm aware. I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. New city, no car, don't mind the walk, but not this far. Thought I found my dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Nothing's going right. Apartment, and all I ever wanted. Apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Dream, turn, dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. And turns out, dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Apartment, and all I ever wanted. I dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Dream apartment, and all I dream apartment, and all I ever wanted. Turns out it could have been a closet. Nothing's going right. But the second I look at the time, I see my lucky number everywhere I go. And I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road. shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be. Supposed to be. I'm where I'm where. When I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to, just when I need to know that I'm where, just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm where I'm supposed. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Sweat. When I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. It's when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be. Where I'm supposed to be. Where I'm supposed to be. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number. I see my lucky number. Lucky number. I see my lucky number. I see. I see my lucky number. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere I go, and I know I'm where I'm supposed. I see 19. I see my lucky number everywhere I go. I see my lucky number everywhere I go, and I know I'm where I'm supposed. supposed to be. I see my lucky number everywhere I go, and I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. I see my lucky number everywhere I go, and I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. Swear it follows me down every road, always shows up just when I need. Always shows up just when I need to know it. Always shows up just when I need to know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed. I'm supposed to be. I'm where 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 I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be. Supposed to be. I'm supposed to be.
So in listening to the track as we're building it, I felt that the stereo AEA ribbon mic, the R88, I believe it's called, still felt a bit too woofy and too rumbly down low. And I wanted it to have a little more presence, real top presence, strings, and slap. So I added the FabFilter Pro Q2, which is a great EQ, really malleable, very user-friendly, grab and go, park and fly. Brought up 8K on it, kind of a wide bell, and I think I rolled out even more low cut. And it just seems to sit better under the vocal and with the piano on it now. Sounds better to me. When this originally started, I made a bad call and said it should be 81 BPM, but in reality, 78 is where it sounded right. So I had already recorded a scratch piano. We used Elastic Audio in X form and slowed it down to 78. It still sounded pretty great, but I really wanted to sculpt my piano track around Bryce's guitar, which we had not recorded last night. Obviously today we have that. It sounds great. And I went out and did one take on the piano with her guitar pretty loud in my headphones. And I'm just trying to imagine the finished record all the time. Like, you know, the holes that I want the piano to fill, where I want the piano to get away, where I want it to get out of the way, where I want it to like really kind of step in and play some low sort of octaves. This is a thing that, you know, I used to be a studio musician, so I've just played on thousands of records at this point as a multi-instrumentalist, and I just kind of have this sort of, I'm often wrong, but I just sort of rely on like kind of a song sense of what goes where and what's going to help sort of, you know, make a section fall or rise the way I want it to. And piano's a tough instrument. You know, when you put live piano on things, it sort of immediately sounds like Elton John, and not always in a way that I want to hear, you know. It's a heavy flavor. So I try to use it very sparingly and then kind of pick my moments to unleash the army. Sometimes just two notes from a piano, just a little simple interval can really do a lot and cover a lot of bases. But I really had that in mind with like trying to get the vocal, and then I came in and listened to it and it felt great. I shifted my entire piano track back 5 ticks a little later. I almost always do that to my guitar and piano playing. Just make it a little bit behind where I naturally played it, kind of de-Canadianized it just a little bit. And then there were moments where it was really flamming in a nice way with the acoustic guitar, and sometimes where it was really like not cool. So I would kind of look at the grid, reference it, and decide, do I want to have the guitar match the piano or vice versa, or bring them both closer? Hardly ever lined up right on the grid, but just close enough to where my ear felt like that's a really nice, pleasing sounding performance. And I actually backed off some of the compression that I added to the piano last night on the old piano. I wanted it to be a bit more open and more dynamic.